Welcome to My Forever Home, the podcast. I'm Frances Cosway and I've helped hundreds of people create forever homes. I can't wait to share the journey with you. So let's start. Hello and welcome to My Forever Home, the podcast. I'm Frances Cosway and I'm your host for this brand new season of the podcast. And this season is all about sustainability. So I'm calling it the sustainability season, and it's really for your home and for your life. So let's live more sustainably. For those of you who know me, I'm really passionate about sustainability. So in this episode, I'm actually going to just run you through what you can expect, what exciting guests I'm going to have on the show in the upcoming weeks and months, and just to give you a bit of an overview about why I've created this season and what's in store. So let me just run through. As I was just saying, for those of you who have followed me for some time, I am so passionate about sustainability. I have been for many, many years, and I think it started when I was living in Europe. There's so many ways that we can incorporate sustainable thinking into our homes and into our everyday lives. And that's what I want to bring to you on this season of the podcast. The great news is that I'm getting asked more and more about sustainable products as clients come to us with those specific requirements, and they're asking for locally made products. They want to support local producers. They want more healthy products. And I suppose there's just a shift in the thinking and the way people are viewing sustainability now. And it's music to my ears because it's been something that I've been passionate about for many, many years. And to now be asked specifically for these types of products, it's just absolutely fantastic. And it's certainly something that we sort of put into our overarching core, but to then be specifically asked is even better. But I also thought about all the information that is not common knowledge in the market, things that I believe are really important to decision making. There's been queries that I've had from people and clients around specific products, and that they are not necessarily aware about the toxicity of those products, or that there are other choices they can make that are better for the environment, they're better for their health, and they're just all round a better product, and yet they may not necessarily cost anything additional. So I've created this series, this brand new series on sustainability. The podcast has been a little bit dormant for a while. I wanted to make sure that we had the right season, and I think as we kept asking more and more, it was like, yes, this is definitely the direction to go. When I started thinking about what I wanted to cover in the series, my brainstorming just kept going and going, and it kept leading me to the next topic, and then the next topic, and then the next topic. And I got really, really excited about all the things we could cover. And I think the great thing for you is it's not just going to be about what products you can incorporate into your home. I'm really broadened it so much further than that. And I've met some really exciting people along the way as well. I'm so excited to share them with you. So as a highlight of some of the topics that will be covered during this season, here's a little bit of a taster to hopefully get you just as excited as I am. Conscious consuming, and how we can consume and buy things in a more conscious and sustainable way. It sounds really basic, but I've got a guest coming on that's going to help us think about how we buy things and the sorts of things that we can be thinking about when we're actually purchasing new products. And that's called conscious consuming. Super, super interesting. And the other thing I wanted to bring on was decluttering in a sustainable way. One of the things that is great is that you can have in a sustainable way, I should say, is having a house that's not all consuming, that there are, you've got what you need and you don't really have much more than that. It's not necessary. However, how do we start that process? And I suppose one of those things is around decluttering and getting rid of the things that we don't need or are not serving us any longer. And so there is a way to actually declutter in a sustainable way. And that's going to be really early on in the series that I'm going to share that with you. Super exciting. I always felt that, and I've been through that process myself personally of decluttering and actually getting rid of things that I regretted, or it meant that, well, I'm now going to live in a minimalistic home and my house is going to feel sterile. Now, you know that that is absolutely not what I subscribe to, having a home that is void of any sort of emotion and personality. And so this is a really awesome way to declutter mindfully and sustainably. I'm going to be talking about sustainable products. How do you know that what you're specifying for your home, what you're sourcing and integrating into the materials for your home are sustainable? What accreditations are there that you should be looking at? I'm so excited to have had the CEO of Green Tag actually on the show, and that's going to be a real game changer. And how to choose wisely our products. We talk about that in that particular episode, and decipher from all the greenwash out there. And by greenwash, I mean, oh yes, that there's one particular ingredient or one particular component that's used in a product and therefore it's green. And I say that in inverted commas. It's not actually green at all. Everyone wants to get in on the whole sustainability thing, but how do you actually decipher between what's really a sustainable and a green product versus one that is really just claiming a whole lot of stuff, but really there's no substance to that claim? Choosing healthy products, selecting products when there's allergies in your household, there's things that you need to be mindful of, so that you're living in a healthy home. And also, what are the products to avoid when you want to be living in a healthy home, and minimizing the toxic products and the VOCs that you're being exposed to in your home. What to tackle first when retrofitting and energy efficiency into your home. There's things that you can do in a lineal fashion that mean that you can get the best bang for your buck when you're actually looking at ways to create better energy efficiencies in your home. And I'm going to bring in an expert on that. I'm also going to get personal, and I'm going to share with you how I built a 7.3 energy rated house in 2014. Now, that's a long time ago that 7.3 stars was regarded as really, really high, and I'm still very proud of the fact that we got to 7.3 stars, particularly with the amount of open space that we have in our home. And so the great thing too is I've actually convinced my partner to come on so that we can share with you exactly how we created that home and designed it using Passive House principles and what we did to prioritize to reach our goals. Everyone's on a budget, just like we were, and so I'm going to share that with you very soon, very early on in the series, in the season. Definition of a sustainable builder. What is a sustainable builder? Why should you engage one? How do you choose one? You know, again, you don't want to be greenwashed and have someone that's claiming to be a sustainable builder, but there are definitely differences. And so I really want to clarify that point with you in the season. Windows are such a critical component when we are designing and building our homes, and you really get one crack at it. And I feel that it's an area that is not as well when you're creating a home, that perhaps there's not as much knowledge out there that is going to assist you. So I really want to clarify those points for you, because windows are a really big chunk of the budget, but they make such a massive difference. And it's really understanding the different types of windows and why it may be worth spending a little bit more to get, you know, a better outcome. Interiors and sustainability, you know, from products to soft furnishings to decorating. There's so many products being released all the time that are just really getting so much better in their sustainability credentials. When I go to trade shows, which I do on a very, very frequent basis, it is just so awesome to see all the new products that are being released that are touching on so many different sustainability elements, in terms of fabrics being made with recycled products, carpets being made with recycled components. It's such an awesome story. So I want to share those with you too. Another one that I get asked a lot is the difference between passive house, so a house that's using effectively zero energy to passive solar design, and there are key differences, and so I really want to be able to share that with you as well. So that's just a bit of a taster. There's going to be so much more in the season than what I've just listed now, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taster on what's to come. Who is the podcast for? Who is this sustainability season for? You know what? It's for anyone who is interested in creating a more sustainable living experience for themselves and their families. And I'd actually challenge you to think, well, who isn't trying to create a more sustainable living experience, saving money, being more energy efficient, and also creating a much better, planet for ourselves and for our children and our grandchildren? Who else is it for? People who are curious about sustainability. You may not be building or renovating or decorating at this point in time, but you know what? Information is so interesting, and you can educate yourself on sustainability, and you might just be curious. So what does it mean, and the choices that you could be making and the choices you could be thinking about and researching about if you're looking at doing something in the future. You might just be wanting to improve your knowledge base. I love learning new things. So it could just be for someone that is interested and curious in sustainability and sustainable living. Upcoming episodes, very, very early on in the season, will be kicking off next week with Sally Flower from the Home Sanctuary. And we're going to be discussing sustainable decluttering, and we're also going to be discussing about that conscious buying. So Sally I met Sally actually at a trade show, and I was so taken away with how her thinking was so in line with my own. I thought I just have to have her on the show. And she even said some of the things that I say quite frequently about surrounding yourself with things that you love. And I thought, oh my goodness me, this is a woman after my own heart. So I'm really excited to have Sally on the show. As I mentioned earlier, I've got the CEO of GreenTag in a few weeks' time. What's so exciting is that GreenTag is actually an Australian corporation, but it's an internationally recognised accreditation and a really rigorous accreditation for sustainable products and healthy products. And there's some amazing things coming out in the Australian market soon. So I'm so excited to have David on the show. I've also managed, as I said, to get my husband to join me to talk about our home. Now, he's a qualified passive house consultant, so he really knows his stuff, if I do say so myself. But he's a very private person, so to get him on the show took a little bit of convincing. But I really hope that he can share his amazing knowledge with you as we talk about how we designed our home and what some of the key decisions were for us when we had a budget, were working to a budget, and what were some of the things that were absolute non-negotiables and what were some things that we just had to let go. And there will be episodes about sustainable products for your renovation or new build, internal materials, and even windows, like I was mentioning earlier. It's going to be super informative. It's going to be fun, especially as we have so many awesome guests joining the show to share the love of allowing you to broaden your knowledge, to increase your knowledge is, exactly why I'm here. As always, I'd be so grateful for you to share the love and let your friends and family know about the podcast, and in particular this upcoming sustainability season. And even better, if you can leave a review about the My Forever Home podcast. It just means that more people can access it, and I can share the love to more and more people. That would be fabulous if you could do that. Don't forget though, in the meantime, you can grab the first 3 chapters of my book, Your Forever Home, and you can get instant free access to the book at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/download-free-ebook. Or you can just go to the White Pebble Interiors website and go to resources, where you'll be able to find the book. There's also a wide range, while I'm talking about the website, of resources that can be found at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au. So be sure to check them out. There's so many things that I give away on the website, and there's also other resources to be found there as well. And if you're ever needing assistance with your own forever home, you can book a chat with me anytime so we can discuss together how we may be able to assist you. you can book a free 15-minute chat with me at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/chat. I always love learning about and seeing how we can help you with your project, no matter where it is in Australia. All the links will be in the show notes that I've just mentioned to you now. So the free ebook of Your Forever Home, where you can find back episodes of the podcast and where you can find all the blogs and other resources. All the links will be in the show notes for you as well. I can't wait for you to join me throughout the season. Dip in every Thursday. A new episode will be available. And it will drop as to where you're listening to your podcasts. And I can't wait to have you join me every Thursday throughout the season. Bye for now. See you next week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of My Forever Home. If you're ready to renovate or build a new home and you need help to create a beautiful and functional forever home, you can book a chat with me directly at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/chat. Have a great day.